know I'm supposed to hate the 4th gen. I'm supposed to hate that it's only got 4 cylinders and goes under the hood, but I find it really tough to hate, so let's talk about what I've done to it. Okay, AT3W, Falcon Wild Peak AT3Ws in 285, 70, 17 on the factory rim. They fit without rubbing, and Wild Peaks have long been the most popular tire on mid-sized trucks, especially in the Tacoma realm. There are AT4Ws now. I compared and decided to go with 3Ws, mostly because they're proven, and the 4W is a good bit heavier than the 3W. You're going to pay a little more possibly for the 3W, but I'll link both below so you can make your comparisons. Either way, you really can't go wrong. Good girl. Okay. Come here. Come on. All right, if you don't know what catskin leather upholstery is for the seats, you got to check them out. Super cool, custom colors, beautiful. I chose Adobe on black with Adobe stitching. You can sit there and get lost in the customizer on their website forever. There's endless options. I mean, yeah, just go check it out. Trust me, this is definitely a pricey kind of buy once, cry once kind of thing. But if you're going to have the truck for a long time, it's definitely cheaper than the factory leather option anyway. So go check that out. Okay, so the next thing I did was take the front face off so I could change the oil. Just kidding. I installed a Rough Country, of all companies, hidden winch bumper. This thing is stupidly well made. I'm very happy with it. I put a Warn Evo 10S on top of it. Okay, I wanted to cover a few facts that I learned in the process of doing this. So overall, not difficult to do. Let's go under the belly. Again, not done with anything, but with this bumper comes the armor as well. So it's 2 pieces, 1 and 2. All right, so you have your wired remote option right here I installed. That's always good for a backup. But what is that little guy? Well, let's find out. So right now, we are locked, but with a simple turn, that was promising. Ta-da! So I cut a small hole here. You could cut even smaller, and ran just a little bit of rubber hose up through and to a Fomoto, just like this. It's just the right size cup, and it just sticks to the plate, lines up perfectly, and then you got plenty of room to reach in there with your hand or a tool and unscrew it. All right, so Automotive Touch-Up makes about every paint color for every vehicle you can imagine, or factory matching of it. But you could do side emblems, things like that, but we'll just cut to the chase. So here's primer. Here is base coat color. This is the bronze oxide. The 6X1 is bronze oxide, so make sure you get every nook and cranny. But yeah, there's the bronze oxide finished, but I'm going to now apply the gloss clear coat, and both of them can now rejoin each other in the paint booth because it's the same thing. But yeah, so there's just the base paint, but now we're going to clear coat them. Multiple sweeping passes from all angles, and in the end you're going to look like this. It's actually even shinier than this because after this I took it back and put one final heavier coat, not heavy enough to run, but heavier coat to give it that true glossy finish at the very end. With that being said, Last Fit hit me up and talked about these liners, and right off the bat I thought, okay, these look quality, let's give them a go. So I got these liners. It's the full interior, front, rear, and then the truck bed liner. And let's talk about how they go in. So like any floor mat, they go in quite easily, but these have this little extra ability where once you pop these caps up, you're going to lock them down and then cover with the cap. Sometimes our mats, or aftermarket mats, don't have caps like this to seal them down. And when they do, they often get kicked out very easily. Well, the Last Fit liners aren't like that. Now, let me talk about my favorite thing about the Last Fit liners is these puppies go way deep. Look how deep they go up under the seat. So quite happy with that. And it also extends out the door jamb some as well, and it's a great fit, clearly. So I actually have no complaints on the front liners. Let's go ahead and look at the rear liner now. Installs nicely. It's got a good deep footrest area in the front where the rear passenger's toes would go, and I like that a lot. So after putting these in and testing them now for about 3 weeks, which is my usual timeline, I give these an honest 5 out of 5 gears. I think this is a solid product. I'm going to put a Fomoto on there. Fomoto, if you don't know, if you're new to vehicle maintenance, which a lot of us are, is a one-way, or it's a ball valve that locks closed and is extremely secure on millions of vehicles worldwide, made in Japan, comes in various models. I went with the 133S, but you could get a shorter or even longer neck on yours. You have options with this oil pan, and I'll show you why, but these things really are great. They don't leak. I'm going to use a plastic scraper to take off any remaining old gasket, paper from the old gasket. I'm going to wipe it clean. And here's where you would put the plug back in with the new gasket. But I'm going to put the Fomoto on, which comes with a gasket. You're going to turn it as tight as you can by hand. And then you're going to take a wrench, and not on the hex part, but the straight walled shaft of the valve. You're going to turn it up to 1/4 turn more. Don't overdo it. And just like that, that is installed. So now we can lock that in place. Nothing is going to get that thing open. And the best part is on the 4th gens, the oil pan is recessed way up above the cross member of the frame now. Not a danger at all anymore. Now check this thing out. When we remove the oil filter, Toyota, in its genius, made it to where it would still leak a little bit on the frame. So to avoid that unnecessary mess, I got this very affordable flexible funnel, which I'm going to use as basically a SAM splint, if you know what that is. No, but I'm going to use it as a just a drain panel, and it's great. No mess, wipes away clean. And then, yeah, but take off that filter from factory. It's probably too tight, so you're going to want the clamps you just saw, the oil filter wrench. All right, so this is the Backflip MX4. This is the long bed version. There's also, of course, the regular length version, but you can also find it rebranded straight from Toyota. Toyota chose this as their favorite bed cover, and I love this thing. It's a little meticulous to install, but once you get it, it is truly a work of art, in my opinion. This thing is really, really nice. I like it, and I've had a lot of covers on my trucks in the past. So, yeah, check this out, the link below. I really like it. Again, it can be a little bit of a pain to install, but you'll get it, and it's worth it. What I really like, and I'll talk about a few times, just how simple this camera is. There's only 2 physical buttons, one to turn the audio on and off on the bottom, and one that you just saw right there to save your footage if you want to save it, like what you just witnessed. However, it's also voice command controlled, which I'll talk about. USB-C on the side, clean and simple, and as you can tell, this thing is about the size of a pistachio, which is pretty nice. But here's how I'm going to power it. And you can too. I have a 24 Tacoma, and you can get this for just about any vehicle, but it's going to go up by the rearview mirror and borrow power from the rearview mirror in a very simple way. Basically, it's these 2 connections on the right will mate between the wiring without any splicing of your mirror. And let me show you how. So on a 24 Tacoma, this just pops out right here. There you can see that gizmo right there. I just showed you. It's already adhered up there. I already installed it, but no tools, just your meat fist to get it done. But yeah, so you pop this tray down, and then you can see here on the left, sorry it's a little dark here, but this piece right here is where the mirror wiring is, and I simply just jumped in between the wiring to the rearview mirror and then connected this, which then Y splits out to the power to the dash cam, and I used a USB-C. This is my view. I hid it behind the rearview mirror right here, where I want to be able to see that it's there. Let's talk voice command. So you say, "Okay, Garmin," and then save video if you want to save the last 30 seconds of video. Real simple design. Okay, let's talk about footage. It really is good, not great. Again, it's only 1080p, but it's a dash cam. You don't need giant file sizes of 2K and 4K to get the job done. This is going to be all you need in a scenario of a wreck. Plus, the thing is tiny. Like I said, pistachio, tiny. It's an ant. So I think this is great for its size. I've seen better quality and larger dash cams, of course, but its day-night is great. Overall, would I buy this dash cam again? Yes. I think the compromise in picture quality, which isn't a big compromise, is worth it due to its tiny, unassuming size and simplicity, which I really like. So overall, I'm going to go ahead and give the Garmin Mini 3 4 out of 5 gears. Again, major pro is size, simplicity, and voice control, which is quite reliable. And only real con, in my opinion, is the fact that it's only 1080p, but the picture quality, like you saw, is still plenty good. So would I buy this again? Yes. Will I run this on my 24 Tacoma for the foreseeable future? Yeah, I'll probably not change this thing out. I don't think there's anything else I prefer on the market right now. Okay, so this next thing is called the Last Box, and all it is a pull-out tray that straps to the sides of your truck that keeps things from flying around in your bed. And I know that sounds kind of like, okay, whatever, but you learn real quick just how awesome that is. Also, I shop with milk crates, so much better than bags. But yeah, the Last Box is ingenious, I think, and check them out because whatever you put in it's not going anywhere. It gets, when you close the gate, it gets pinned between the gate and the it straps. I love it. So I lifted my truck already. I, after looking at a lot of things, went with the Peak Design collar lift. I just wanted a very small lift on the front. I ended up adding, I think, about 1 inch and a third, and I'll link them below. But yeah, so what this is doing is basically making your factory shock like a 5100, like a Bilstein 5100. It's just a collar lift, so it's adding a little bit of metal at the base of the coil. Oh, great time to anti-seize up your cam bolts here, because if you don't know, second gens, third gens, this one, fourth gen, they don't come greased from the factory. This is on a lower control arm. They are going to seize on you, and you will end up cutting them out with a reciprocating saw at some point. But here's the collar lift. Once you take that shock out, you're just going to mount this first and then reassemble as normal everything else. And it's great. It really is. I mean, it's simple. There's not much to it. You can't break it. It's just a solid piece of machined aluminum. But yeah, just reassembly. If you've done my Bilstein 5100 lift on your third or second gen, where you use a jack to lower the lower control arm to take the pressure off the coil, you can do it on the fourth gen. It's just slightly more difficult because the factory shocks reservoir kind of gets in the way with the angles a little bit, so you're just gonna have to work it a little longer. It's just not quite as easy. But yeah, there's the reassembly, and I put it back up in the truck, and again, it's gonna add about 1 inch and a third is what I measured, which is exactly what I wanted. I think it's the perfect stance. There I am on 285/70/17s, done up perfectly how I want it. Okay, so these right here, I tested a multiple interior and bed accessories. So this is the AAA liner bed mat. I think it's the best on the market. It's very similar to the last fit, but there's no big in the way logo that blocks things. This is a good bed net from another company, Mucilage. I don't want to say their name wrong, but they make a lot of interior parts as well. So I like this net if you're not going to run like a Last Box. So I'm liking this more than I thought I would because I put my wallet in it and keys, which are in my pocket at the moment. But I don't like putting my keys and stuff in the cup holder, and I don't like putting them down here, or wallet down here, because you just kind of forget about it or it's out of sight. So yeah, I'm surprised this thing is proving to be handy. Okay, so from the same company, Mucilage is also these awesome cup holder inserts. It's just like a pure silicone insert, so all those crumbs and grime are in the insert, and I can just pull this thing out, invert it, and flip it out and feed it to my dogs or something, whatever But yeah, there's one up there as well. I think that's a great thing to have. No more sticky cup holders. They line up nicely. So there's also these door handle inserts. They're pretty sweet. They stay in place for sure, and you can pop them up from the bottom if you want to remove them. But a neat little thing to throw your chapstick or 12 gauge or 5.56 or
What's up?
So, oh yeah, I really like these. Okay, so we've all seen the center console inserts, which is great. Keeps me real organized. But I also have the hidden compartment up here, and it's doing two things. Well, I'll show you this first. Yeah, it pops right out, easy. But above it is this hidden compartment, which primarily I love it because it keeps me tame in the box below, but it also holds my Amazon returns and receipts, and it's magnetic. It's not like Velcro or sticky or anything. That's magnetic, which is nice. So that's two good additions for the center console. Okay, the Redline hydraulic lift arms. These are great. They really are. No more drilling. No more painting or anything like on the 3rd gen for the Redlines. You're going to use existing hardware, and you're going to have these in 10 minutes tops. They really are nice and that easy. All right, don't sleep on this. The 4th gen is no different than the 3rd gen. If you look at the dash bezel or like the plastic covering your speedometer, like if you look at it too long, it's going to scratch. Dust scratches it. It is crazy. It's the most scratchable plastic Toyota could find. I don't know how they did it, but Screen Protec is an awesome company that is already custom designed specifically for not just the cluster here, but as well as the touch screen and around the air conditioning knobs on the plastic there. Anywhere where it's a screen or like a clear plastic, the kit comes with everything. And I installed mine immediately before I started scratching it. It's a little pricey, I won't lie, and you got to be patient. It's not hard to do if you follow the instructions. My biggest tip for you is soak that thing. When you think you got enough spray, do more. In fact, this video right here, it wasn't even enough. Do more. And then you're going to squeegee it out the bottom, and within a few hours of the next day, it's crystal clear. So last thing, there's a Warn Evo 10S, not last thing, but Warn Evo 10S in there. And then the shackle kit from Rough Country as well, paired really nice with that hidden winch bumper. I think that's just a great combo. So that's what the front end of my truck looks like now. We didn't discuss it before, but fluid film does not dry. It's not like a paint that will dry or cure. It's literally going to stay on your truck until eventually seasons, miles, and time will wash it away. Road grime, salt from the road, anything. So you apply fluid film seasonally, and you're thinking, oh, that sucks. Well, there's really nothing you can do or nothing better on the market that science has given birth to that will stop rust. So we protect our painted and, well, unpainted, but really everything should be painted, surfaces from rust with a shield like fluid film. Don't forget to get into all the holes and crevices. We really don't want rust to sneak up on us. And that is the bottom of a freshly fluid filmed vehicle. I expect to not have to do this until next winter. Although right before the snow falls here in about 6 months or so, or 4 or 5 months, I'm going to check it over again just to see how we're looking. Okay, so last thing, but the front differential on the 4th gen Toyota mocks us. They laugh in our face. They give us another one of these pieces of crap. So I immediately changed it out without even losing fluid to this guy. You should do the same, because the other one will seize up on you just like on the 2nd gen, just like on the 3rd gen, and yeah, you'll be stuck like me welding something to it just to break it free. So do the right thing ASAP. So that sums up this first mods video, but if you watched the whole thing, I appreciate it. I'm going to, if you didn't know already, cover every maintenance task you can possibly do for the 4th gen Tacoma. And then, of course, we got the maintenance maps for the 4th gen Tacoma, all just like I did on 3rd gen. But anyway, I'll be seeing you around. Thanks for hanging out.